Good afternoon, everyone. You guys know me. I'm Nancy Quinn, previously Ganza Corporate, and I am here with Alex from Daniel House Club to talk about how your interior design procurement process can be completely different and made much easier if you use Daniel House Club. So welcome, Alex. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well, Nancy. Good to be back.
Yes,
As always, fun
yes.
to chat about what we do and especially how we can make the lives of interior designers better.
Oh my God.
Uh,
So Lesley and I were talking about that. And today in one of our groups that a designer got a 4,000 square foot full home and she wants to source it without hiring someone. And, she's a one woman show. And we're like, go to Daniel House Club, let them help you. And she was like, ooh, tell me more. So tell everybody about you guys if they don't know
well,
about you already.
yeah, well, I'm happy to tell you more. And I love that use case because we do like to say we can basically save you a salary. We're obviously a place, I shouldn't say obviously, maybe you don't know about us. Daniel House Club, go to danielhouse.club. You can access 200 different vendors, all with trade pricing. You can join, you get access to not only pricing, but some tools to help you organize, to work with your clients, to collect payment for products, and best of all, the concierge. And I think that's the part that really is transformational and why we say, like, we're not just a place to buy stuff. We are a partner in your business. And we
Yes, and
really,
you guys really are. So explain so a designer goes and does their um, paid in-home consultation, which is what I teach, and then they do their design phase and they present conceptual design, they get approval on floor plans and this and that. Now they're going into detailed design where they're actually picking the product for the floor plan and for the inspiration they showed the designer of the client and they got approval on. How do you guys help with selection and just walk them through it, how they would do it with you guys? Ooh, did we lose you?
yes, you did, but I'm back, right?
Okay, not sure what everyone heard, but I was saying a designer gets through the consult, they present their conceptual design. Now they're going to figure out all the details, all the product they're actually presenting before they get to the detailed design presentation. That's where you guys can come in. Explain to everybody how they source from that point forward with you
Yeah.
guys.
Well, first off, I'm gonna share go back a little bit and a funny story. Our concierge, our VP of concierge services, goes and does roundtables around the country with designers who invite us to go share with their other designer friends. And he just did one yesterday, and there were several members who had been buying from us for a while, who, when he talked about the chat feature on the website, we're like, oh, I didn't know that was a human. So first off, it's a human run service. If you go to
Yay.
chat, yeah, it's great. It's easy. You can chat, you can email, you can phone call. And what we love is you can do scheduled video calls. So all of that will actually be with human concierges who are mostly, most of them have been designers, or all of them have worked in the design industry, furniture industry, for a long period of time. So I have a really deep understanding of the particular needs of the designer, not just trying to sell furniture. So we love for you to come in at the very beginning of a project and say, here's my project, here's my 4,000 square foot project, here's the budget, here's their style preferences. What do you think? And then we can already start to build you boards and actually go in and add the product to boards on the website. So you don't even need to do that. You can do it. You can join in the process and go add things on your own, remove anything you don't like. And it's just a really easy way to kick off that journey and be collaborative and not need to get a full or part-time assistant to go and find all of that stuff for you.
Let's talk about the be collaborative, because I think for a lot of solopreneurs, they feel alone, right? And so when they're selecting the product, they're doing a lot. And this is what we were talking about today in the Profit Insider Academy group. If you text your client constantly, do you like this sofa? Do you like this lamp? And like that way of sourcing should be over for everybody. right?
Yes.
And, doing it yourself for what you were hired to do, source products for them, present it to them. That sourcing is hard sometimes when they're at a blank canvas for some designers. So you guys can get that started for them based on a feel, a style, a color, some words of inspiration from the designer.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's not like, it's I share this with some designers and I want to be cautious and they're like, "Oh, but I love that part." Like we don't want to rob you of that either, but
Yes.
that's why it is kind of the collaborative journey. If you want to work in with us at that phase, like we can help you find some things from vendors maybe you've never heard of. If you don't go to High Point and you don't know One for Victory, which is a cool new-ish vendor that does very cool leather sofas and chairs. Not trying to push them, but like they're a vendor a lot of people don't know about. And maybe you're just going to go to Bernhardt, also another good vendor. But our concierge can be really helpful and say, actually, no, I've gone to High Point. I've sat on this. It's really interesting. It's a little bit different. And maybe the price point's better, or maybe the margin's better and you can get a better discount. So we want to work across all of those things and actually give you more tools in your business to deliver more interesting projects. And we're genuinely really focused on increasing the margin of your projects. Like we want designers to be financially successful. We always say we're very aligned. If you're successful, we're successful. So it's really important to us. But beyond just like suggesting products, well, getting those words confused today.
I know, it's okay. A little tongue-tied today,
Yeah.
right? Getting those, so they can do the design themselves and through your portals, create a whole shopping cart that they can buy themselves with the money they've collected from their client, right?
Yeah.
So they can do all the selection themselves. But let's say, like the designer today in our group, I'm stuck on the sofa. They want to sit on it, but I don't want them to sit on it. So I'm not sure. That would have been a great question for your concierge.
Absolutely.
Call, I need a mid-level, this price, this size, that feel. Do you have anything? And you would introduce her to new vendors that she never knew before, probably.
100%. And we do that. Everybody on our team goes to High Point at least once a year. A number of us go twice. And we just do a calisthenics routine around the whole show. And we're up, down, sitting on everything, taking pictures and notes so we can communicate that back, because we get asked many times a day, how does that sit? And don't get to sit on literally everything, but we try. And it can be really, really helpful information.
Definitely. And just the recommendation as to where to look for things. So the designer can keep the design process themselves and select everything themselves. They can get your help for part of it. Like you said, collaboration, get some recommendations on things they're stuck with. So while they're designing, they have somebody with them helping them. And then once the client says, yes, I love everything, which of course is always the way it happens, they can then purchase through you at different levels of discount, correct?
Yeah. That is correct. And we have 3 levels you can join us with. The first is Pro, and that has a kind of standard trade discount. It's going to be somewhere between 25, sometimes up to 40%. It comes with paid shipping. You can get that same discount as a Pro Plus free shipping member. So same furniture discount, but then it adds in free shipping. That's really nice. $8 a month for that. So basically a no-brainer. Or if you're buying a lot, you can go to our signature level, which we try to do about wholesale pricing, as close to wholesale as we can get. So those discounts are going to be 40 to 55%. And so you can actually start to purchase like a volume designer, or in some cases like a showroom does. And the price does jump up. That is $89 a month. So it's a significant jump. But if you're doing over $10,000 a year in purchasing, like easily pays for itself. We do offer the same concierge service across every vendor, though. Or sorry, every tier. So we're not gonna say if you're joining for free, you get bad service. Again, we want you to be successful. You're still gonna get good service, just slightly less margin. And we'll help you regardless. But I think my favorite thing is the service really kicks in after a purchase, especially if something has gone wrong. And that happens. Like, we're never going to tell you that every shipment is definitely going to come correctly. If you've ordered more than 3 pieces of furniture in your life, you know that is a lie. So
Yep.
we're not, it just will. And we do our best to select good carriers, even regionally. And if you have carriers you hate, you can tell us, don't use that one. They suck in Florida, or maybe they're great in California, and we'll work
Right.
on that. But when things go wrong, you can email a single person, concierge@danahouse.club, tell them what happened, and we will handle the rest. And that was when we were designers, where the explosions happened and clients got upset and we got crazy and everybody was losing money. And so we were like, let's solve that problem. And I think we do it really, really well. We solved it for ourselves. Our designer members seem really happy with that. And that's why, like, I always say, test us out. If you join, you can get a purchasing credit, $100 or $250, depending on the level you join. Buy something, whatever. Buy yourself a pillow.
Yeah, somebody said, I'm buying something for myself. I'm like, good for you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Use the concierge to see what they might suggest, or get in touch. I really, really hope nothing does go wrong, but I'm going to be honest. Sometimes those things, when they do go wrong, it's them like, that's where you're going to experience the difference we offer.
Yes.
Again, not telling you they're going to go wrong, but because if you're going to order tens of thousands, $100,000 of furniture over a year, damage is going to happen. Things will need to be fixed. Exchanges need to be made. And that is where you start thinking, oh, I need to hire a person. You don't. You can just use us, and it's super easy.
It's amazing. That's an amazing thing that you do for designers, because it is true. That is the worst, when you get a phone call from the warehouse or from the client that says there's damage, this doesn't look right, this is not the right size, whatever. It's not what they expected in some way. Now, what do you do? Right?
Yes.
So the other thing I want to make sure we highlight, though, because I teach the designer for a day, designer on call, and full service design. And just some people want to do virtual design. Yes. You guys are amazing when it comes to, if they sell any type of design only package, that they're providing the design, they're selecting all the images, they are presenting it to the client, 1 or 2 rounds of revisions, depending on your business model, and then hand them over links to make purchases.
Yes.
This is amazing to me. And I have quite a few of my profit insiders using you guys, and they are making money from giving shopping carts to their clients.
Yeah. I love to hear that. I'm so excited. We built a tool basically specifically for e-designers, although we have a lot of designers who will use it for their friends, or do like they have a client who comes up and it's like really too small for full service, but they're going to use this tool. And it's really simple. You build a cart on our website, and you pick whatever you want. You can email that to your client, and they can choose what they want to buy from it. And we will still give you that same discount you would get if you purchase directly through us. So you'll get the commission difference on the price you set for the design for your client. You can say they should walk this through a little bit more clearly. You can set the discount for the client. You can have them pay 100% of retail, or you can say, I want to give my client a 10% discount, 20% discount, whatever is left over, we'll send you a commission for. We handle the whole transaction with the client. We can also handle the customer service with the client, so they're still getting that level of service that they might get from you if you are really doing all of the hand holding. And it's really setting apart from like just sending links where you might send them from 50 different vendors. And it's confusing to manage. You don't get anything. Or I have some personal friends who've used affiliate links where they're making like 3%, and this is more like 30 to 50%. So
it's your normal designer
exactly
commission for selling the product, but you're handling the entire sale and back office.
And you can also communicate with us if you don't want us to handle the whole thing and you want us to have you be a go-between. We can do that too. We're never want to be in the way of the way you run your business. We're going to fit in exactly so you can still be efficient, you can be professional, but really mostly you can be successful.
It's amazing. So what do you say when a designer says, well, I looked at your vendors and you don't have the vendors that I use for my clientele, for my location, for my level of client? Because I've heard that. And I'm like, did you talk to them?
Please
That's what I
do.
say.
Thank you. Did you talk to us? I like that line. We should put that right on our product
Yeah.
request
Did
form.
you talk to us about that
Yeah.
before you complain or say I don't do something? Yeah, because you have told me personally that you'll go search out vendors that the designers want, and you're able to add it to your system if they so choose. And is that across the board for any vendor or just certain ones?
So we will work hard to add any vendor you want. I have a slight hesitation. I'm always very honest. Sometimes we can't. There are
Okay.
some vendors that we have been talking to for 3 or 4 years. And some we have success stories, like Made Goods is now available. And that took 4.5 years, I think, but it's exciting.
Wow.
You can go buy Made Goods from us. Pallet Check is now available. That took a long time. I will say both of these still may need to request products, so we don't have full catalogs up, but you can go request a product even if the vendor is not, even if that product is not available, we can still purchase and source with the vendor, so you still get all the other services we offer when doing it that way. There are some we haven't gotten yet, like Century. I'm just putting it out there. We're really excited. We keep talking. We really try to emphasize a good relationship and building long-term lasting relationships, not just with our members, but with our vendors too. So we're working on some, but if there's another one that comes along that we've never heard of, email it in. I will go get in touch with them, usually personally, although we do have a vendor management team, try to add them as soon as possible. And I did mention the product request feature. If we have a vendor that is listed and has some products, but is missing one, don't assume that we can't get it. Send it over. It will usually be added to the site in 1 to 3 business days. So a pretty quick process, and you'll still get your discount on that.
Nice. All right. We do have a question coming in from Instagram, and it is saying, why should we choose Daniel House Club versus the other company that should not be named?
You could always name them. We have an atmosphere around I'll put it like this. Our first value in our company is we put designers first. And I don't mean that in some marketing way. Like, it's literally our first value. We run through our values in all of our meetings, and we make our decisions based on putting the designer first. So all of the features I've talked about are designer requested. All of the services are, the question is, how do we make the life of the designer easier? If we feel your pain, we change our systems. And so we're really responsive. That being said, we're always like, go try someone else out, see how it goes, see what the differences are. Let us know if they do something great. But we're pretty confident we'll take care of you really, really well. Also, our discount is not out. We don't promise it to be the best, but it usually is.
I like that. You're very honest about what you can do and what you can't do and what you really do for the clients. And we recommend you. And it's because we haven't gotten any complaints. It's that simple.
Thanks. Internally, we get very few complaints too. And when we do,
all we get is compliments. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I made so much money by using Daniel House Club, right? I had a design only, and I was going to give them retail links until we told them about you guys. So it's really very applicable no matter what type of designer they are, in what location in the United States. They can purchase through Daniel House Club.
Yes, that's true.
What about other countries?
If you are in Canada, we can work with you also.
Okay.
So we work anywhere in the US and Canada. And if we have Canadian listeners, we do work really hard to have reasonable shipping and reasonable duties in light of some odd economics going on right now. We have made an effort to get our prices as low as possible to offset any challenges. So we have some excellent Canadian members and want to make sure their businesses are not suffering right now.
Absolutely. Excellent. Okay. Anything that we are missing, Alex, that you want them to know about Daniel House Club?
I think the only other thing is I talk about product requests and vendor requests almost every time I've been on here. I don't always talk about feature requests. We are very active in developing our website, and we want to know what else you want it to do. So if there are things you're like, I would love it to do X, Y, and Z, or integrate with this software I use. That is a longer roadmap than the 1 to 3 business days of adding a product.
Yes.
But we use designer feedback to create our tech roadmap, and we work on that every single quarter to try to deliver the tools that are actually going to be useful to you.
Amazing. So, all right. So you have a phone line that a human answers. You have a chat button that a human answers. You have a concierge service that can help them with selection, product selection, troubleshooting, everything related to the product side of their businesses. You help them with damages for deliveries or delays and things like that, navigating all that, and you handle it 100% for them if they want, if you to, as their back office.
Yeah, that sums it up.
All for the highest tier is still only $85 a month.
That's right. Yeah, very reasonable. And you can always try us out for 30 days for free. Buy yourself something nice and leave if it's not for you. That's okay. We want a chance to prove it to you. So.
And you are one of the fastest growing companies, I hear.
That is, yes, we were on the Inc. 500 last year. I think we'll do it again this year. I think we were actually the fastest growing e-commerce company last year, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
It was very near the top.
That's amazing. All right, everyone. If you have not checked out Daniel House Club, please go. It's right there above Alex's head, danielhouse.club. Check it out. What they do for interior designers. It can be your entire procurement department, but it is also just a place if you don't need them to be your entire procurement department. You can source from their resources, create a shopping cart where you can purchase, and they can track everything for you and let you know when it's coming in and what delays are happening. And I hear you give really nice weekly updates, I think, to anyone who's placed an order, which is amazing.
Yeah, automatic weekly open order reports. So you know the status of everything you've ordered across all the projects. You don't need to make your own Excel. There are so many things we could talk about.
I know.
That's why we come on here every month, right?
Yes,
get through
that's
it all.
Exactly why. So, all right, everyone, go have a great day. We will be back with Alex or his brother Peter next month, talking more about Daniel House Club. Check out danielhouse.club and their website and sign up. You can sign up for free. So it's a no-brainer to check them out.
Yes.
Thanks, Alex.
Look forward to seeing you. Thank you, Nancy.
Okay, see you soon. Bye.